Call the meeting to order. It is 6:30 on April 8th, 2026. And our first item up for business is public comment. Was there any public comment?
No.
All right. Moving on to the next, if you guys would like to review the minutes for March, look over it real quick, see if we have any questions, any comments, or any corrections. Do you know if Oscar's going to be here tonight?
I don't know. He didn't say he wasn't going to be here. So
Okay.
hopefully. I think even moving the start time later, there's still so much traffic. Those are gifts from, I want to say the mayor, but I also want to say city manager. Okay, good.
All right, I will make any comments or questions, corrections for the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving last month's meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. And we will move on to the student liaison opportunities. Sorry, Friends of the Library.
Right. Good evening, Library Board. I'm Aaron Millis, Friends of the Library Board Member and President. We had a second book sale last week on the 2nd. It was similar to January. April can be lower sales, and this one was closer to what we might expect. The rain probably influenced some. We got a lot in the morning. I'll take it. And we raised about approximately $1,500, which feels low, but it's only because so many of the others have gone so well. That is actually in line with how most of our sales do go. So we feel pretty good about it. We had 26 new memberships, which we always love. Most of them at the individual level, expected. We had one family level and an exciting couple of student levels. We always like getting students to join, but this time was particularly exciting because we had, I think, our youngest member. I think she was 7. So she is going to come get her free books at the next book sale. We did see only a couple renewals. That's low. We typically see more, but I think this time it was because we give a year's worth of membership, and our last year's sale was on the 3rd. This year's sale was on the 2nd. All those people that would have renewed, they actually got to come to 6 book sales and get free books. So we'll get them next time. I did make an error during the book sale. We changed our pricing, simplifying most of the prices. Most things went down. We had done it so that, one, the checkout process would be quicker, but we also wanted to start giving away some of the children's books just for free. It didn't feel right charging $1 for some. So I actually screwed it up. The board actually wanted to keep doing buy one, get one free for the board books, and I gave probably 100, 150 of them away. So I'm okay with that too. So they will hopefully forgive me. All right, the Friends Annual Meeting. It's going to be on the evening of April 21st here at the library. This is when we give our report to the public of our activities for the year. We honor our library teen volunteers with awards. We've got 2 of them. And let's see, this one's special in that we are commemorating the Audrey T. Deering Wing. So back in 2024, Audrey Deering passed. She was instrumental in getting this library going. And we wanted to honor her. We went through the city's naming process and got the approval to name the original part of the library that Audrey was instrumental with for her. The signage went up this week. It is actually down there right now with the plaque, but this will be the official, we're inviting her family. You are all officially invited to come to the meeting. We'll do our regular reports. We're going to just put the Audrey bit at the end and then invite folks to come down to that end of the building for refreshments and pictures. And I think her children want to say a few things. So let's see. The 21st, 6 p.m. I want to say it's the middle room here. Not 100%. People
It's
will know.
somewhere up here.
Yeah. And let's see. Both of our teens receiving their awards will be here, so that's exciting. They've got their certificates printed as of today. We did bump up the allocation for the teen awards this year to 750. We were giving 500. We did 3 of them last year, so we're actually doing the same amount. And that's just, one, they volunteer, and we want to see them continue in the scholarship stuff. All right, last meeting, we had a local Girl Scout attend and present a request for funding for her Gold Award. I had to look this up. I'm not familiar enough with the Girl Scouts. The Gold Award's kind of similar to the Eagle Scout project, but it's not the same. It's it is the ultimate project for a Girl Scout that she uses her leadership abilities and contributes something to make a lasting impact. So it is a little different. It's sustainable, where Eagle projects aren't necessarily things that they keep doing. So she presented, the Friends board heard her out, and we actually had to rein them in. They wanted to give her way more money than she was asking for. We did get her to accept a little more. She's going to be doing STEM kits for the library. There's already some here in circulation, but her part was also going to be doing programs related to her specific kits. She's going to have QR codes with it that are linked to videos that walk folks through, here's things you can do with a snap circuit, here's things you can do with biology. And she had a couple good ideas, and she's working on assembling them and working with library staff. We were excited to have her. I didn't tell her ahead of time that other than the guys in the room, pretty much 100% of everyone else in the room were Girl Scouts. So she didn't know how biased we were. All right, I don't think we overwhelmed her too much. She was very mature. We also discussed this board's suggestions that you had last month, where you started talking about making library cards free. I didn't have any purpose other than to let them know you were talking about it. I did not gauge anyone's opinion on how they felt about it. I suspect they would get behind you, but when you guys do make a decision, if you would like the Friends to come out and make a supportive statement, let me know. I do have to get it from them. And I think the only other things we've got coming up, next book sale's a couple months out, June 18th. Tomorrow we will be promoting the Friends at the Homeschool Resource Fair, which I suspect will be mentioned later in this meeting. And that's all I've got. Our next meeting, it's the annual meeting. So that's it. Any questions, comments, concerns you want me to relay? All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Aaron. We don't have any student liaisons present, so we will skip to item 4C, discussion regarding marketing and outreach.
So, as you can see, we had a pretty good month for outreach last month, largely because we had some schools and groups that wanted to engage with us several times. So there's one private school in the area, and they like to come like on a semesterly basis. And so they came by. They brought 4 different tour groups, and so I gave them tours. I brought the older kids to the Fab Lab, which is a lot of fun. And then the younger kids got a story time. So lots of interest and lots of events. It is spring, so it's starting to warm up, and people are having their field days and spring flings and things like that. I did speak with the communications department. We had a meeting recently, and we discussed the Flash to Firefly. And they said that if we were to go to with a contest, they'd be cool with that. We need to speak with the law department. We have a lawyer who can go over things like intellectual property and things like that, copyright, as far as like signing over the rights for us to use it without, there's like a word for it, I'm not a lawyer. Without infringement, yes. So I'll be speaking with the law department, and we'll see if we can get something rolling. They also recommended, I just remembered this, they also recommended that I speak with the innovation specialist of the city, and she does a lot of the public art projects. So she was in charge of coordinating like the pencil out there or like the big red head. So she probably has a lot more knowledge as well that I could tap for a contest. Yeah.
All right, do we have any questions or comments for the regarding marketing? All right, moving on to item 4D, the library director's report.
Okay, give you a quick update on the survey. It will be closing soon, but the webmaster still has not been able to give me permission to go in and analyze the results. I can get them printed, so I may just have to do it by hand, but I'll have those for you for sure, one way or the other, next month.
Do you know how many results you're getting so far? No?
I'd say roughly 30, 35, yeah. I've gotten several of the print ones that are up here also. So that's coming. And the library director's report. If you look at our stats, they're really close to last year. I think most of them are within 1,000 points of each other. When you start getting down to the visits, we're way ahead this year with people coming into the library, which we love. I think it's great. Attendance at our programs is way up. Part of that maybe because we have introduced some new programs. One of the programs that Daniel and I are doing, well, primarily doing, anybody could do it, is borrow a librarian. I may have spoken about that before. So that's coming along. I got somebody tomorrow coming in. And we have I'm going to talk about this too. We had a literary ball last year, so that was fun. It's coming up again. The 3 programs on the front, 2 on the back, up through Pet Fest, those are programs that have already happened. I think we had around, I want to say 800 people for Pet Fest, so that was great. Coming up, we have the Homeschool Resource Fair, which is tomorrow, and this is where homeschool kids and families can come and learn about all the things that are available, not just with the library, but also with Texas Education Agency and the community. A water conservation for families presentation is coming up. Daniel spearheaded this with, was it Public Works? Public Works, yeah, to sort of educate people because of all the things that have happened recently in Pflugerville. And then, again, the literary costume ball. If anybody here likes a costume, which we all do, you go to this dressed as your favorite character. It doesn't have to be. I was Miss Haversham last year from Great Expectations, so it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
What's the date of it?
April 18th.
It's after hours.
Yeah.
It starts at 7:30.
18 and up. And I think that is it for that. One quick thing about our teens, I am just going to assume that they're not coming back. So I will start working with Melissa about maybe getting some people in this summer if we can't do that. It's kind of hard in the summer to get the teens on board, but we will definitely be able to get them in the fall. So we'll try that.
Do you get interns?
We do.
Yeah. Do you got more? Do they work over the summer or?
We have interns through Travis County coming, and yeah, they'll be working over the summer. We also have some graduate students from the School of Information, I believe, who are going to be doing their capstone project here. So that'll be good too.
All right. Anybody have any questions, concerns? All right. Comments? Moving on to item 4E, discussion regarding the potential for Library Board Summit. We didn't really have any movement on that this week. Who's your treasurer? Kim went to Georgetown and sent back a report that their Friends of the Library Board was pretty amazing. So she's going to discuss more about that next time we see her. I sent Jennifer just recently, a few days ago, the list of the libraries. So we'll hopefully reach out to them over the next month and bring this up again on the next report and have more information. The one thing about it that I did want to ask is I looked at the calendar about trying to possibly schedule a date, and it looks like you can only schedule like 2 months out.
Generally speaking, yes, but if y'all give me a date, I can hold the room.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
or rooms. And I will say that August would be a good month, or we don't do a lot in December, but that's kind of a weird month. August would be good, or April. We tend to do less programming in those 2 months.
So depending on how fast we wanted to go, I mean, August would be just about 5 months of prep, depending upon what contact we get back from the other libraries. Is that something we want to shoot for this year, or would you guys like to push that off until maybe April 2027?
I'm in favor of this year.
Okay. All right, so,
Okay, so it's on discuss only.
okay.
We
all right.
can't have a motion on it, but I can bring it back to the next meeting.
Perfect. All right, well, and by then we'll know how much, if we get some interest from the other libraries.
Yeah.
So that'll be item for discussion next week, next month. All right, and 4F, discussion regarding the library budget process.
Okay, I don't have enough for everybody, but you can just kind of look at them. These are the budget calendar that finance gives us. We are actually ahead a little bit. We've already gathered together our projections for this year and our estimates for next year. So we really are good to go until I think April 29th is my meeting with finance, my first meeting with finance. So I'll know a little bit more, hopefully we'll know a little bit more about the tax situation and how that looks by then, but really, we're not gonna have anything firm until September, end of September, I think. But I'm going along, asking for our stuff, and so far, it's going well, so. I was pleasantly surprised at our revenue this year. I finally was able to run a good report on it, and I was like, oh, it's not really revenue because, it costs a lot more to operate, but we have some money that we can put into the general fund, and that makes me happy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Was this part of what was emailed to us, the budget calendar?
No,
Okay.
yeah. I can email it to y'all.
Be
Yeah.
nice. I just want to understand it better. Just like-
Any more questions on the budget process?
All right,
I'm sorry, last
Yeah.
year, we did have a pretty heavy cut to our budget, but all the departments did, and that was based on I want to say it was based on the property tax, that was set by the legislature. And I don't know that it's gonna be any better this year, because it's the same rate. But I think, as we've seen over the past year, we can get through it. So, yeah.
I mean, one small thing to do with the budget like I heard the postage, the UPS is going up like 8% on packages. Does that affect your interlibrary
We
mailings?
actually get reimbursed for the mail, the interlibrary loan mail from the state library.
Nice. All right, good deal. All right, unless there's any other comments, moving on to item 5A, discussion and consider action regarding library fees. And this is for non-residents, right?
Yeah, we had discussed a couple of things. We had discussed removing the processing fee and also removing the non-resident fee. However, city administration was not in favor of that, at least not this year. So basically, we can't do it. Not this year. We could bring it back next year and see if it's different. I did go ahead and get the information y'all had asked for, the data on how many paid non-residents we have, how many losses could be attributed to paid non-residents, et cetera. And so that's all in here. We really don't have a lot. I think it's like, if you add them all up, it's like 2.5% of our library card holders are non-resident. And then while I was doing that, I saw that there's like 4 different categories for non-residents. So I'm working with our circulation manager to, merge those into, we really only need 2, so. And then I did some snapshots of how many overall we have. If you look at the first report, that was October of 2024, and then I put one in that is April 1st, 2026, so you can kind of see the difference in our card holders and their different categories. The card holders usually, well, they were just hovering around 25,000, I think, up until right after COVID, and then it kind of shot up to 31,000, which is great. It seems like if you go, well, Pflugerville's 70,000 people or 80,000 people now, that's actually not bad to have, you know, a third or over a third of the population have a library card. It is hard to get a good solid number because if something expires, if their card expires and they just haven't gotten to it yet, it makes it a little bit more difficult to project how many we're going to have, but it's usually around 30 to 31,000. The next, I couldn't have made this more confusing if I tried. Okay, so the next thing that you're looking at is active accounts or accounts that have expired in less than 36 months. And that one's pretty good because it shows you this fiscal year. So you get an idea over the timeline. Still have no idea why I can't figure out my own spreadsheet, but I can't. So, but anyway, things you may or may not be interested in. The next page that says note at the front. These are items that are overdue more than 10 days, and the system assigns the fee for all the books that are checked out, basically. I don't want to call it a fine because it's not a fine. Once they return the books, it's completely wiped off their account. But you can see that the majority of the people that have items out that have not been returned yet are residents. They're not paid non-residents, they're not our tech share borrowers, and nothing like that. And this isn't a very good indication of loss because they have, you know, 3 months to bring it back. Actually, they have forever to bring it back because we'll accept it at any time. And usually these things do come back. So it's not a good indicator of our actual losses, but it's a pretty good indicator of who is returning stuff on time and who isn't. Students are pretty bad too.
I have a question. You said the city's not in favor of removing the fee. Is there an option to change the definition of resident?
I don't know. I can find out.
Because one of the things that, when I did that comparison, a lot of libraries have, it's free for all Texas residents.
Mhm.
I was wondering if that might be a way to achieve some of the goals, if not all of them.
Okay. And we used to be all of Texas, so, yeah. But I'll ask and I'll get back with you guys on that. I can email you all that information.
So their objection was financial.
Pardon me?
So their objection to it was financial?
I'm not sure if it was that or just that this is not something they want to deal with right now. But I can definitely get more answers.
And
Can't
how much
imagine
is
what
a
else they have
non,
on their minds right now.
how much is a non-resident card?
$25 a year.
And so 720 people, am I reading that right? So 720 non-residents, if we just take paid non-residents, would be a potential income of $18,000.
Paid non-residents, I have the total up here. If you're looking at this year to date, which is October 1st through now, was $3,182.
Isn't that the amount they have in outstanding books though? The $3,000?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I do have I put another sheet in here that has exactly what you're asking for. Okay, if you go to the next page where it says, assuming, oh no, that's processing fees. No, I know I did this.
There's different rows that are paid.
Yeah. So what, I'm gonna, if the non-resident is different from the paid non-resident, or if a paid
They're
student
not,
is cheaper?
They're not, and that was one of the things that I'm getting with our circulation manager to merge those groups together because they're not different. It's always gonna be either you're a resident or you're a paid non-resident.
So if there's roughly 720 non-residents that are paying for a library card, that'd be 18 grand, which is pretty significant. But, out of that, you only have 40 who aren't bringing books back. Roughly 40. So it's not they're not really taking anything from the library. That's hurting it significantly.
Right.
But yeah, I would guess that the monetary is probably something the city would want to review.
Yeah.
Is it a one-time fee?
It's, no, every year you have to renew it. And
Okay,
it's
so it's
$25, yeah. Resident cards are good for 3 years and you don't have to, pay for them.
$18,000 doesn't feel like a lot of money to me, based on the other budgets that they push. So if they're saying no for financial reasons, I'm maybe a little upset about where some of our other money went.
We also have one of the higher fees, short of being like Austin, who charges like 100.
Wow.
But most of them, it's like 10 or $5, like it's not very much.
Well, I'll bring it back to admin and then I'll bring it.
Okay.
I can email you the answer on that.
They unilaterally said no. Does this board have to accept no? I mean, are they allowed to say no if you guys say, we want you to look at it anyways, put it in front of council?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would
Not trying to be
say,
aggressive.
no, I would say that, probably they would be okay with that. But, in the long run, it's an advisory board, so we can't say, you need to do this. But, let me broach the subject again. And I don't think that they are, picking on the library in particular. I think this is just a weird couple of years and they're cutting costs where they can. And to cut something that is bringing in even a little bit of money to the library, yeah.
Okay, well, so right now we don't have any action to take, so any other comments or suggestions for Jennifer when she goes back to the city?
And again, if y'all think of stuff after the meeting, just shoot me an email.
I mean, because like in the grand scheme of things, the budget for the library is like way
It's
up.
pretty small. Yeah.
Well, in the grand scheme of things too, like what is the mission of the library? Like, when does the money outweigh the mission?
Yeah, I mean, I think this council and this administration understands that we're a service and that we are not a money-making department. And that we won't be. But we still have to be cognizant right now of the taxpayer dollars, so I'll bring it to them, yeah.
Okay, moving on to item 5B, discuss and consider action regarding library policies. And did our policy review group get a chance to look over and?
They did, we met
Alright.
about a week ago, I think, and went through, they had put their comments on here, so I'm bringing those tonight. Ignore the formatting, it's horrifying, I know, but I'm using the old ones as a template and it doesn't always line up right, so I will get that fixed. So I've printed out the policies and I have the comments from the committee on the side. And we'll just go through these tonight and see if y'all agree, disagree with the comments or have anything else you want to put in there. This will not be the final reading or the final input in any way, shape, or form of these policies. It usually takes us several months. So, mission statement, Sean, you are absolutely correct. It should be engages, inspires, and informs. So we'll make that correction. Does anybody have any comments on our library mission? It really hasn't changed.
Just one quick comment on the table of contents. If you guys are formatting this in Word, I think, whenever you put 3 dots, sometimes it'll put an extra space because it thinks it's the ... like carry on. And so is there any way to like line up all the numbers in?
Yeah, ignore the table of contents
Okay.
completely because it's going to change as we go through this document. So I haven't done anything with that. What probably is causing that problem is it is a PDF and then I export it to Word and it gets wonky. So
Understood.
I've tried just editing the PDF and also I'm not skilled enough to handle that. So library board. serves in an advisory capacity to the library director, et cetera, et cetera. The comments were, and I can't see this any more than y'all can, so. Sounds like there can only be one, but we can have multiple, and I think that was regarding the student liaisons.
Yep.
And, the other comment was, I believe the original language should stand because the board does have one alternate member, so yeah. So both of that makes sense. I just think that maybe make it more clear that we're talking about student liaisons when we're talking about multiple. Does that make sense? Any comments on that?
Do you want grammar corrections?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's got it.
You all got them, I know.
I got it.
There's gonna be all kinds of commas and semicolons.
No.
Let's
think
do
it's good.
content and then we'll go to formatting after that.
Okay.
Okay, so then, moving on.
The only thing you might want to consider, sort of 2-year terms, and maybe appointed to 2 additional terms. Sort of 2-year terms and maybe appointed 2 additional terms for a total of 6 years. Like, that's what that's trying to say, right? So you can serve 3 2-year terms before you have to take a break.
Yeah,
And so that might be able to be a little clearer.
okay.
Because the way it's worded, it kind of sounds like they can give you like an extension.
I'll probably borrow language from the city code of ordinances. They have been revamping all of the boards and commissions and trying to make us all more consistent. So I'll get whatever language that they're using and I'll bring that next month.
Cool.
Let's see. Section 2, library guests. It is the last paragraph in 2.1. I think that it doesn't need an S at the end of such causes. I don't know. Regarding due cause, the use of the library may be denied for due cause. Such cause may, I gotta get rid of that S. May include destruction of library property, unauthorized posting of materials at the library, disturbances of other guests, or any other illegal, disruptive, or objectionable conduct on library premises. And I know it fits under destruction of the library property, but there's one woman that she will throw our books in the trash on her way out of here. She does. We find them quite often. She doesn't agree with the content of the books. So don't check it out. Yeah. Yep. So agreed that such cause does not need to be plural?
I agree.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to unattended children and teens. The comment is the font is different, and so I'm putting myself a message saying font. And I'm sorry that the printouts are janky also, but if we go to 2.3.1 truancy, it's the font again there. Truancy.
Then I stopped commenting about the font.
No. You will not be the only one, I promise. And then when we get down to public computers, it was a consistency issue. I'm reading over it real quick so I can see.
It was, that was the one where, there it said that the child under age 17 could be asked for X, and then somewhere else it was a different
Okay.
set of things.
Okay, I put a note on that. Now, we have our policies for unattended children. if we don't go up and start hassling kids, if they're, are you 12? Can you be here? We don't do that. If they're not bothering us, we're not going to bother them. Sometimes kids get left here though at night when we're leaving, and we can't just leave them there under age 14. So we have to call PD to come and sit with them until their parent comes. And then the kid's all freaked out, and you can say you're not in trouble, but yeah, so just pick your kids up. Okay, so under 2.5, guest privacy, you'll see that the weird paragraph.
Sorry, 2.6.
That is this.
2.6.
So I brought it out, and I did print it out because this is something that we tweaked. I have had people who did not want their children to be recorded or photographed during programs, and that's fine. They just need to let us know. Other people were a limited public forum, so if somebody came in here and started recording, there's not a lot we can do about that except for to say, respect their privacy. So yeah, there is something on the door that says that you might be photographed or videoed while you're in the library. We do consider the use of the library as private and as falling under the Texas statute, which maybe I should put in here, that talks about privacy and library records. So,
Yeah, it says protected by this law, is that what you mean by? 59?
yeah, I should
Because that
say
doesn't
what
make any
law,
sense.
probably. And I don't think I have it in there. But also, and I don't know how, and I'll let you guys decide. I don't know how detailed I need to be about that, because there are nuances to that. If there is a crime that's happening on library property, or there's immediate danger to people, then that no longer, I don't have to have a warrant or a court order to turn somebody over to. Yeah.
Yeah, I might put that in. I didn't have a chance to put it in before it got to PDF. But I'd put an extra bullet point in section 2.6, basically saying that the library does not participate in law enforcement activities except for crimes then occurring on the premises that pose an immediate threat to the safety, peace, or health of the members and guests.
Yeah, it sounds good. If you email me that.
Okay, I will email
Because
that.
I won't remember it word for word.
No, word. I'll email it to you.
Is there a liability thing that we should run by the city with that? with
All of
that
our policies
introduction?
will go to the legal department before, yeah. And it's a new legal department this time around. Hours and library cards, the first section, that hasn't changed since last year's update on these. We did add a lot of acceptable proof of identity on here because not everybody has a driver's license. So that's all that part is. And then you go to this page that has the purple at the bottom. This is only, it's not different information, it's just presented differently with the bullet points because it's easy for someone to say, well, this is what our policy says, they can come down and it's 4 bullet points. So that's why that's there. The yellow highlighted sentence about the middle of the page, I need to add something about charter schools because we do allow kids that go to a private or charter school in Pflugerville to have a library card, even though technically that's not part of the school district. And the family may not live in Pflugerville, but they are going to school here. So since we give library cards to anybody who works in Pflugerville, give them to the kids too. A lot of times those schools don't have a library.
What about trade schools? So,
If you're going to school in Pflugerville,
So a
We will get you a
19-year-old
library
doing
card.
A trade school here? Would
Huh?
A 19-year-old doing a trade school here?
Yes,
What about homeschool?
homeschool, yeah. Basically, all school-age kids, I would say,
Gotcha.
but, yeah. That's not entirely true, but it's as close as we can get to it. And I don't think that anybody in city administration or city government would say no to a kid getting a library card. Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, we're actually almost through the first reading, so I promise it won't be too, okay, I say that and I'm like, oh my God, 10 more pages. Borrowing materials. The comment is, it says above, they may be asked their parents or guardians staying.
That's the twin to the comment earlier about the consistency of what they're asking for.
Okay.
Yeah, those go together.
So, and what brings that whole paragraph up is a lot of times kids will show up without their library card, they need to use a computer or whatever, and then we can go in and check their account. There is a box on new accounts that you can check if the kid has permission to be on the computer, and some kids don't, so. Further down, that was just a grammatical thing. Reimbursement of taxpayer dollar. Okay, so we get, a lot of times people will lose a book or destroy a book and they want to just bring another copy of it in and replace it. But we don't accept that. Most libraries don't accept that because you need to reimburse them the taxpayer dollar. And we may have spent $25 on that book, and you got online and you got an abridged version of it and it was $15. Well, we can't use an abridged. We can only use the full text. So it gets complicated, but like I said, we can work out payment plans for anybody. And I noticed, Daniel, in Apollo now, it has a category where you can run a report to see if somebody is making regular payments. So
cool.
That's very cool. Apollo is our library system that keeps track of our people. Let's see. That was just a formatting. Okay. Text your cards. Blending library, return materials in person.
So quick side note,
Uh-huh.
I was up at GaryCon just a few weeks ago in Wisconsin, and I was talking to Rose Estes, who writes a bunch of choose-your-own-adventure books for Dungeons & Dragons and stuff like that, and a bunch of other novels. She said if you ever have a book that has any kind of like mildew or anything like that, put a dryer sheet with a plastic bag and put it in the freezer, and
It
takes
kills
the
it.
smell out.
We have a stinky box, so if somebody brings in a book and it smells like cigarettes or a myriad of other things, we'll put it in a box with dryer sheets.
Does that work? So it works?
Yeah, baking soda sometimes if it's really bad, but yeah.
I've never heard that. I thought that was pretty cool.
We will de-stink them before we put them back out there. Okay, so text share card program, it was just a preference for insured first-class mail, so that's fine, we can do that. Anything that's in green is just because the last legal department wanted us to highlight it in green. It doesn't mean anything as far as changing stuff. Okay, here's our fee schedule. It hasn't changed. And these are just the fees for using the room. This is not fees for getting a library card. It's a different thing. So we do charge people to use the room most of the time, but if it's a nonprofit, the fee is very, very low.
So you have currently, there are no fees to use the study pod. You need currently, since presumably this would be updated if you added a fee.
Okay. I have that. Oh, okay. There are no fees. Reservations hasn't changed. Okay, and so the rest of it hasn't changed at all. When you're looking over it, I do welcome more comments, and the committee's gonna meet again before we're done with all of this. There are some areas that I think are we need to pay special attention to, given the current environment, and that would be things like challenged materials, challenged displays, that sort of thing. And even some of the art that gets hung up here, people could potentially challenge. We have put in something about all those different things in our policies. A lot of libraries have now. So if you'll just pay special attention to that, make sure that we're not discriminating against anyone, or I don't even know what else. We're not discriminating, it's clear, and we're not judging. You know what I mean? It's like anything else we do. We're not going to judge a point of view or an opinion, whether we agree with that or not. It's not going to play a factor, I should say. All right. And that's all I have for that, unless y'all have more things that you want to discuss regarding policies, or if you want to give it a month or so to look over, that's fine. You can email me. I can disseminate the information among the group. Y'all just can't email each other and stuff, because then it becomes an open meeting.
When's the committee going to be meeting again?
I don't have a date, but it'll be within the next couple of weeks.
Do you want to send us an updated copy after that, so then we can
Okay.
review it at that time?
Yeah, I could clean up the copy with all of the comments and things that we've just gone through, and then send that out again, and then maybe we'll meet after. The committee will meet after that.
What does everybody think of that plan?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the committee for meeting and doing that review and making those suggestions. And I believe, do any of the other board members have any other things they would like to bring up or discuss for consideration for the next meeting? All right, not hearing anything, I think we're done. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. All those who oppose, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Meeting is adjourned.